Imagine you are back in high school, walking the halls between classes when a teacher stops you because your pants are too tight, your skirt is too short, or your jeans are ripped. You are immediately sent to the principal's office, asked to change, or pick something from the lost and found. If uniforms were mandatory in all public schools, the overwhelming problem of dress codes would vanish, allowing students to move their focus back to academics. Dress codes provide unnecessary rules on children that could easily be avoided with the use of uniforms. Between schools and districts, their concept of uniformity varies widely. Uniforms can solve the problem of dress codes by showing the benefits and how to implement them into schools. Schools that do not require a uniform always have strict dress codes in place that usually are more restrictive than a uniform policy. These dress codes usually allow comfortable clothing for most students, but prohibit many clothing options such as large or baggy clothes, holes in clothes, scarves, curlers, bandanas, tights, legging, bike shorts, or pajamas. By allowing some clothing and not allowing others, arguments arise from parents and children saying that they are discriminating between female and male students and what they can wear. Also, students that are required to follow a dress code always are tempted to buy trending clothing, which makes buying school clothing very expensive and adds up to over hundreds of dollars throughout the year. Even public schools who do not require uniforms have the mandatory dress code, which makes students buy certain clothing to follow that dress code. Now that we see that dress codes are a problem, the solution is to add uniforms to public schooling. Some public institutions already require uniforms while others stick to a set dress code, allowing from school to school. Procon conducted research showing that almost 1 in 5 U.S. public schools require students to wear uniforms during the 2011 to 2012 school year, which is up from 1 in 8 in 2003 to 2004. In the essay, Should Students Have to Wear School Uniforms?, proponents say that school uniforms make schools safer for students, create a level playing field that reduces socioeconomic disparities, and encourage children to focus on their studies rather than their clothes. By adding uniforms, parents and teachers have seen that they increase student self-esteem, decrease the influence of gangs, improve learning, promote a sense of teamwork, improve behavior, and help administration identify outsiders who could be a threat. According to Sherry Bowen, school uniforms are one step that may help break the cycle of violence, truancy, and disorder. All of the benefits of uniforms help student learning by creating a sense of community and uniformity. Making school uniforms mandatory relieves the administration from picking and choosing what their students can wear and adding a simple fix of a uniform, keeping parents and students happy. Now that we know that there's a solution to the problem, how can school uniforms be placed into every United States public institution? When you think of a uniform, does your mind immediately go to plaid skirts, button-downs, and ties? While private institutions do require those types of uniforms, there are also other choices such as khaki pants and solid-colored polos, which are very affordable. Many students feel that they no longer have a choice in clothing, but if the mandatory uniforms follow Toledo, Ohio's uniforms, they have a palette of colors they can wear: white, light blue, dark blue, or yellow on top, and dark blue, khaki, navy, or tan on the bottom. Also, many public schools that require uniforms provide each student with one top and bottom uniform, allowing the student to wear the correct clothing with no excuses. While many families do not realize how much money they are spending on dress code clothing, they would save money by buying uniform options and using those clothes for the entire year instead of constantly buying new clothes. We can now see that adding uniforms is the key to creating uniformity from school to school across the United States. In review, dress codes have created many problems for parents and children that can be avoided with mandatory uniforms. Some public institutions already require uniforms to provide uniformity throughout their school. By adding uniforms to all public institutions, there are many possible benefits such as improved learning, increased student self-esteem, decrease in the influence of gangs, and the identification of possible intruders. Public institutions that do not require uniforms still require a dress code that is expensive and restricts many clothing options. If public schools are so focused on making rules about what their students can't wear, don't you think it would be much easier to say what they could wear? Requiring uniforms seem to work best when the whole school community discusses and agrees upon a policy and enforces it. If uniforms are mandatory in every school across the United States, the uniformity of schools would be equal, allowing students to focus on knowledge and academics.
This is still life, and it's the future.